Under the bright lights of the Oval Office, the atmosphere was calm but expectant. The familiar sound of camera shutters echoed as President Donald Trump stepped toward the lectern, his posture firm, his expression composed. Reporters leaned forward, waiting for remarks, but this time the subject was not policy, foreign affairs, or a new executive order. It was something more personal, his health. According to the official medical statement released by the White House, President Donald Trump is in excellent health. His physician, Dr. Sean Barbabella, wrote in a letter that the president's heart age is approximately 14 years younger than his actual chronological age. For a 79-year-old president, that figure was remarkable, and one the administration was eager to emphasize. The report followed a routine medical examination conducted earlier in the week. The White House described it as an annual checkup, even though Trump had undergone a similar examination just a few months prior in April. The results, however, were said to confirm that the president continues to maintain a demanding daily schedule without restrictions. Standing at the podium, Trump appeared energetic, his voice steady and confident. The event was originally meant to discuss ongoing pharmaceutical reforms with AstraZeneca executives, yet his health inevitably became a topic of conversation. Cameras captured his handshakes, his laughter, and the unmistakable ease with which he interacted with the press, all part of the visual narrative of vitality that his team sought to project. The letter from Dr. Barbabella detailed that Trump's cardiovascular performance, metabolic balance, and overall stamina were comparable to those of a much younger man. He remains in excellent physical condition, the statement read, and continues to fulfill the duties of the presidency with no medical limitations. For his supporters, it was a reaffirmation of his resilience. For critics, it raised fresh questions about transparency and medical interpretation. The president's health has long been a subject of scrutiny. Over the years, speculation has occasionally intensified, particularly when reporters noticed visible signs such as reddish spots on his hands during public appearances. According to the White House, those marks were simply side effects of aspirin, a common medication Trump takes daily as part of his preventive routine. The statement was meant to dismiss rumors quickly, but in the age of social media, such details rarely fade quietly. At one point, Trump lightened the mood by addressing unrelated upcoming travels. "I'll be going to Israel," he said casually, smiling as the reporters took notes. "I'll be speaking at the Knesset, I think, early on, and then I'm also going to Egypt." They were terrific. The spontaneous remark, delivered during the same event, added an unexpected diplomatic layer to a press appearance that was primarily domestic in focus. The president's visit to Israel and Egypt, while still being finalized, would mark another significant round of Middle Eastern diplomacy under his administration. Yet in this context, it also served as a subtle demonstration of vigor. The message was implicit. A man preparing for high-stakes international travel could not be frail. Behind the scenes, Dr. Barbabella's report had undergone the standard review before its release. Sources within the administration noted that the physician's findings reflected not only Trump's current status, but also the results of consistent monitoring. The president reportedly maintains a personalized fitness regimen and a controlled diet supervised by his medical staff. Still, Trump's advanced age remains a point of fascination. When he took office, he became the oldest person ever to assume the presidency, a title that magnified public curiosity about his stamina and mental sharpness. Over time, allies have used that curiosity to their advantage, portraying him as a symbol of endurance and experience rather than vulnerability. Throughout his term, the White House has made an effort to provide structured health updates, but the public's perception of presidential fitness often depends more on optics than data. Each time Trump walks briskly toward Marine One or speaks extemporaneously for an hour, the administration subtly reinforces the narrative of strength. His physical presence and his ability to command the room have become political statements in their own right. Observers note that the strategic release of medical findings serves multiple purposes. It reassures the nation, calms markets, and deflects criticism from opponents who question his longevity. In Washington's image-driven environment, a clean bill of health is as much a political asset as it is a personal one. Trump's physician emphasized that the president's excellent cardiovascular metrics are uncommon for his age group. According to the report, his cholesterol levels and blood pressure are within optimal ranges, supported by a consistent medication plan and regular monitoring. The use of preventive medications such as aspirin was described as a routine measure rather than a response to any acute concern. Political analysts have compared the release of this report to previous instances when presidential health became a point of political theatre. From Eisenhower's heart attack to Reagan's surgery and Biden's medical exams, every administration has had to balance transparency with privacy. Trump's team, aware of that precedent, presented the findings as both factual and symbolic, evidence of his enduring readiness to lead. Footage from the day showed Trump and AstraZeneca CEO Pascal Soriot shaking hands after a brief exchange on pharmaceutical pricing reforms. The Oval Office, bathed in soft autumn light, became the backdrop for a moment that blended policy and personality. It was here that the president's health narrative intertwined with his broader political message, that of a tireless leader pushing forward despite criticism, age, and pressure. Critics, however, were not entirely convinced. Some commentators questioned the phrasing of heart age as a clinical measure, calling it more promotional than scientific. Others argued that the White House's repetition of the word excellent echoed earlier reports that seemed curated for optics rather than transparency. Still, for Trump's base, the statement was clear and reassuring. Beyond the medical data, Trump's energy has become a core part of his public persona. His long rallies, late-night posts, and relentless media engagements reinforce the perception of stamina. Each appearance becomes another opportunity to project vitality, a calculated contrast to his political rivals. The scene in Washington that October day reflected that duality, an official health update wrapped in political storytelling. As he smiled and waved to reporters, Trump appeared entirely at ease, deflecting further questions about his routine with a familiar confidence. "We're doing great," he said briefly before exiting the room, leaving behind the lingering hum of conversation among journalists. Outside, the fall air carried a mix of curiosity and speculation. Analysts dissected the doctor's phrasing on cable news while supporters amplified the excellent health tagline across social media. The White House, for its part, seemed satisfied. Another headline, another message of reassurance delivered. The story of Trump's health, however, is likely to remain a recurring motif in American politics. As he continues to navigate both domestic challenges and international diplomacy, his physical condition and the image it projects will remain part of the broader narrative that defines his presidency. For now, the message from his physician stands as the administration's final word. Donald Trump is in excellent health, with a heart younger than his years and a schedule that shows no sign of slowing down. And in Washington, where perception often matters as much as reality, that declaration, backed by the confident stride of the president himself, was designed to echo far beyond the walls of the White House.